Hi, this is Zach Mayer with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 28th of February. Starting off with the S&P, which is holding well above the initial February resistance zone, 50 to 50.60. While we're above that, looking for the top of that rising trend channel from the end of September, beginning of October, 51.60, the maximum perhaps by the end of next month. If we break back below the 50.50 level, then there's a risk of heading back towards 49.90, 5,000, which is the floor of that channel. For a calamitist and looking for a bigger pullback than the 50-day line, 48.65 would be an obvious target. But at the moment, hoping that we can get away with at least the 5,000 area as support for this market. Moving on to the Nasdaq 100, and here the situation equally firm, I suppose you could say, given the way that we're holding above the latest gap higher, which was 17,800. Above that, we're looking for 18,400 and that September resistance line projection. If we do break down, we need to fill the gap down towards the 17,400 area, which is the floor of the gap and this month's gap, and also the floor of the rising trend channel there from the latter part of last year. The moment, the 50-day line, 17,200, may be the worst case scenario that people are looking at in terms of any potential pullback. Moving along to the stocks, and a nice collection today, decent movers. Adapthealth is the first contender, and here you can see that we've gapped higher within what is potentially a rising trend channel base. The top of the channel there, $12.30. We're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above recent resistance on the way down around $8.90, which was also the floor of yesterday's, or near the floor of yesterday's range for the shares. Moving along to Beam Therapeutics, and here we've got a nice situation with the rising trend channel there we've had since basically May last year. Top of the channel there heading towards $55. We're looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above the top of the latest gap, $39. Ideally, we stay on the right side of $40 ahead of a move up to, or potential move up to, $55. Next up is a situation which we've looked at many times before, Big Bear AI. Obviously, the magic there is the AI bit, and unfilled gap to the upside after a very strong candle on Monday. And top of the channel here, $4.20. We're looking for that over the next couple of weeks, or even sooner, ideally over the next couple of days. And that's valid while we hold above the $3 level on an end-of-day close basis, given that that was the resistance on the way down that area back in spring last year. Cxapp is the next stock here, and here Cxapp, the name. This was a favorite in the early part of last year, but obviously things went somewhat pear-shaped. Current situation is we've broken recent neckline resistance and broken above the old gap down there from September in the $1.90 area. Above that, we're looking for quite a big target there, up towards as high as $9 over the next couple of months, but maybe a more realistic target would be around $3.70, $3.80 over the next few weeks, which was the resistance on the way down for the shares. You can see back in August, support was around the $4 area, but the recovery intact while we're above, or on the right side of $2. Next up is maybe a situation which is rather easier to get a grip on, and we'll see why from the chart. Codexis, here we've got spike higher, or unfilled gap through old resistance there around $3.70. Above that, we're looking for $5.10, perhaps as soon as the end of next month, or even sooner. Moving along to another winner of the recent past, which is Cytomix, and here another gap higher, actually touching the top of that rising trend channel from last year. That was back in the spring of last year. So looking for $2.50 over the next few sessions, especially while we remain above the 190 area, which was resistance on the way down. But hopefully we could get much more than the 250 area over the course of this spring. Next stock is Denali Therapeutics, and here beautiful gap through the 50-day moving average, which is now rising. Resistance on the way down around $20.50, and above that looking for the top of that rising trend channel from August to $27.50 over the next 2 to 3 weeks, or even sooner than that. Moving along to elevation, and here, beautiful breakout from that sideways consolidation, mid-move consolidation, rising trend channel there from December. Top of the channel there heading towards the $6 area, looking for that by the end of next month, while we remain above $3, basically recent resistance for the shares, so decent risk reward. Situation shaping up there. Stock coming up next is one which has a bit of media or social media attention. Here we've got the initial target there around $4.20, while we're above recent resistance at $2.70, let's say, and best case would be up to $5.60 by the end of next month. We can get a decent push through $3.50. Next stock is one we've looked at quite a few times before, and a bit large because it's had done well back in the summer. Current situation is it does look as though we've got a long-awaited turnaround for the shares. The initial target here after the gap higher of the line that I'm just drawing at the moment, that's heading towards $4.70, which we're looking for over the next few weeks at the top of a rising trend channel base. And more time we can spend above $3.50, the better for the cause, and a potential move towards the $5 area. On to the next situation, hims and hers, and here, beautiful unfilled gap to the upside, the second of the week, which is obviously a rather strong price action. Top of the channel there from August as high as $16. We're looking for that while we remain above $12, which is basically yesterday's support area for the shares. On to the last three. The first one, a real good-looking situation, which is Sonder Holdings. Here, we hit our first target there around $5.20. Above that, looking for a best-case scenario target as high as $12 maybe by the end of April at the top of that broadening triangle from last September. So we can see how well the bulls managed to do there. On to Turnstone, which is also a lively market at the moment. Here we've got this final, well, sort of very strong push above a rising 50-day moving average. Initial resistance there was around $5. Above $5, we're looking for the shares to fill the gap towards $8 by the end of next month, basically completing the U shape on the daily chart. Finishing off with Viking, and this has been a decent situation over the recent past. We were previously looking for the shares to hit the $38 area. As you can see, the stock has overshot the runway by some distance, and we're left waiting to see what how the dust settles. But obviously, the opening price yesterday, $70, may be the first area that people look at if there is any retracement. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.